Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, can you hear me?
See Klaus moving backwards, allowing Casper to potentially just get that elimination himself, try to secure ourselves that position in zone because every life matters. Every player with a gun shooting is able to expect the most, and Klaus.
How do I make it to where the audio is in the... Hold on. Is that better?
The chaos, essentially 12 or 15 players before the shots started raining down, all condensing down on the cliff side. And we even see it here. Mafioso trying to weasel his way in, but he has to drop down. He gets one with the shotgun, almost making it two, but the Inko spread, the vehicles reigning supreme. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if McGrone will be able to get Vitali up. As long as they're able to keep three players, I don't think it's too bad, but I'm not. What happened here? Klaus down and out. He had 5 of the team's eliminations here, 7. What goes from good to bad for Shoot to Survive, they got to make it in the zone out as a 3-man.
It's one of those things when you get just so hyper focused on those teams that are close by that you kind of forget about some of the other teams that might end up having an angle on you. And that's the thing with Team Liquid. They just have been sitting throughout this whole time, being able to spot players that maybe over peak a little bit too long and get spotted out. But with Shoot to Survive, this is going to be a tough one. How much utility do you have to work with here? Because not only are you going to have to jump down that cliff,
Crucia is better.
They're gonna have to need to use the madness there a little bit from Inco Gaming. They're gonna be able to eliminate them alongside Team Liquid, and it's gonna come down. Can Team Liquid finally back it up? Can they showcase why they were the champions?
Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
As they're looking to perform miracles here on the second day.
It's good old-fashioned 3v3. Silence can't get away. Manages to do so, but just barely. Chief Cardozo down, and I don't know if Team Liquid can do it. It's up to Ayala, and he's got to work his way up a hill, and the battle against the elevation difference on the hilltop.
Hello,
IG
hello.
most
Can you hear
likely
me?
taking this victory unless a miracle happens. Padrino's got Ayala in his line of sight. Chief is desperately crawling. Do you stick the rest? Do you go for it? Well, you don't have a choice. Team Liquid, albeit their best game, we'll give them their flowers with 9 eliminations. But intense game, remaining consistent from day 1 to day 2. They get the win, starting off the day, 9 eliminations. Well done. Enigma, intense game. They're on fire.
Yeah, and I think the key component was them being able to save that one coup under their belt, making sure it wasn't shot out
Hello.
to survive. Having even just Adrian go for that off play, even though he was shot and knocked, it allowed his 2 teammates. We saw the one on the rooftop of the shack getting that trade knock instantly, having that pressure from the top side. That's a team that understands the situation and the lay of the land. And when I saw that circle shift, I was thinking the only way Team Liquid wins is if they can take control of that road. Unfortunately, they couldn't. And we saw at the end, all it took was one frag grenade to finish the job. We talked about it with Team Liquid. They got those eliminations, but intense game, played it to perfection.
They did. The fact they finished off in second, 9 elims, again, their best game. I'm hoping they turn things around. They're a partner team. They're a legendary team when it comes to PUBG Mobile, at least for our region. I want to see them perform. I think everybody else does. It's easy to say they're struggling. It's hard to say they're finding success, but maybe it's going to get a little bit easier to say that as time goes along. But hey, for our North American teams, we highlighted Inco at the start of the show, 7. What a game that was for them. 7 eliminations, top 3 finish. Beautifully done.
It came down to them just being proactive to making sure that we're able to third-party teams. We saw them being able to do it when United for Gaming ended up getting third-party by Inco Gaming, and then after that, they have a little bit of freedom to work with, right? Not really having to worry about them, anybody coming up from behind, allow them to push up to that cliff and just hold off and see if they can maybe clutch out some even more placement points, which they were able to do. There you go. That's the fight that I was talking about. But for Team Liquid, I have to once again give them props for that push towards Wolves. The way that they were able to rotate, that they were able to time in, also scout as well. They did that perfectly, and it showed us once again, as you were saying, I mean, this is a Team Liquid that we've been expecting, not a win. And for IG, yesterday in Sandhawk, they ended up with 2nd place. Today, 1st place. I think their favorite map, you know what? It might be Sandhawk.
Now, which one, Sandhawk or Miramar? Because let's not forget, they finished off Miramar with 18 eliminations, right? To end the day, they start the day with the win. But I'm right there with you. 2nd place yesterday on Sandhawk with 10 eliminations. Today, they do it a little bit better, getting 1st place, 9 elims. One thing you have to say, intense game, highly consistent, racking up the winner chicken dinners along with eliminations. They're inching closer to passing Alpha 7 for 1st. And hell, who knows? After this game, they might have just done that. You can really thank Padrino and Silence for being the top slayers yesterday for that IG roster with 15, 13 eliminations respectively. 19 elims. Team Liquid, though, big story. 15 total points coming for them. And excuse me, intense game, 19 points, not 19 elims. Inco game, looking great. Would love to see more consistency with them. Big story around them, right? North America, you've got a lot of great players, obviously, representing that specific roster. Bruno, Gary, 7, but of course, McGrellin as well. Coming from Alpha 7, he's got something to prove. He's looking to prove it indeed. Alpha 7 finishes off with 4. At one point, they had a 2-2 split in the cars, but that's not unorthodox. We've been watching Alpha 7 make these splits, and they do work most of the time. In this case, unfortunately, it didn't. We look at our 2nd page. Some teams had a little bit of trouble, but Enigma, we do have to say, United for Gaming had a couple of great wins, a couple of great fights. That's why they finished off with 7 elims.
Yeah, and if you're losing to the likes of Inco, who made it into that top 3, top 4 placement, I can't blame you too much. They had that good fight earlier on that eastern side just to get third-partied, and I'm really liking the fact that some of these squads are starting to take these engagements, and you're wondering it, Taylor. Alpha 7, with only those 4 points, they boost up to 1st place past them. So a new champion, right, coming into the PMSL Americas. This obviously is only day 2, the first game, but seeing any sort of change is big news here.
Hey, big news indeed. 7, you said it. Intense game. If they could just work on their placements, right, getting a little bit further along within that top 3 conversation, they could potentially be up there in first. Well, it seems like they got the job done in just map 1.
They definitely did. Being able to back it up. What is that now? Back-to-back wins. You mentioned what they were able to do yesterday in Miramar with those 18 eliminations. Being able to back it up here once again. First match of day 2 with the Sandhawk win 9 elims and then passing Alpha 7. After Alpha 7 looked unstoppable yesterday on the, I would say, on the first half of the day. This is good news, not just for everybody currently watching, because we're not going to have a team that's just running away with it, but it's also good because it's going to give Alpha 7 a bit of a challenge. And to be honest, I was surprised that Alpha 7 was even able to make it into the circle, because where they usually end up dropping, the rotation that they had to do, I'm even impressed that they ended with any points whatsoever. For some of the other teams, though, Influence Rage and another one that we mentioned at the start, X-Force, I want to see what they're going to be doing here on this Erangels coming up, because that hot drop did not go their way.
Not at all, but good news is for X-Force anyways, for that specific roster, Erangel's a great map for them. Hoping map 2 is going to be even better because, yeah, that initial drop, they were the second team to be finished off just following that of AGG. Another great roster who unfortunately fell way too early. Game 2, they're going to have to clean it up. Well, there it is. That's our only Sandhawk of the day. It was exciting. Without question, we already have a shake-up for first place. Intense game taken over, but Alpha 7, you better believe we're going to be fighting back to reclaim gold by the end of
an
the
18
day. We're going
going
to
to
take a quick
win
break.
a
When we come back, Erangel.
game. Nah. The only team that has it potentially is Inco, which they're technically a Brazil team, so I don't think NA is gonna win a game today. Maybe week 2, day 3, NA team wins a game. That's just my opinion, though. What's your sign, please? On why? S2S didn't win first match. I didn't really watch the first game because I was focusing on trying to pick up and fix the stream. But hold on.
We're going to be dropping in boot camp.
Let
I
me,
want to see if we're going to maybe have a bit of a hot drop again. Yesterday we ended up having one.
Let me fix this a little bit.
X-Force and Influence Rage, both teams being able to get one elimination apiece and then deciding to back off. They did ended up taking a little bit longer, and from what I'm seeing so far in this map, it looks like we're gonna end up getting it again. So I'm intrigued to see if there
Okay, so they,
if there is another knock, if there is another
I guess they
elimination,
kill IG because I saw they had a
themselves in a situation where they're
4 kills in the beginning.
There's a lot of teams here landing a lot closer to each other than we expected. We already saw one of the Wolves players going dead, find themselves in a situation where they're gonna have to
A7 rotated to them somehow. Okay, so they basically got zone blessed, so that's why they got high placement from the start. They have high ground, they got zone blessed, so of course they're gonna place high that game.
Playing the soap fire with
This fight between X-Force and INF, I don't know why they do it. I told them they should not do it, but I guess, you know, NA too egotistic. They don't know how to not pick on a draft.
Lose situation. Pickens, Aslaw is gonna be able to finish him. Little old.
What's a tragic sort of deal. Not sure what your thoughts are with X-Force, at least to begin with, but seeing Fate at the top damage and stuff like that, I know we had an interview set up with that.
Well, I think the frustrating thing for me is I know X-Force
S2S basically has high ground and zone blast.
You just see a but if the rest are
was no round here with
narrative, right? 76 of Alpha 7. So that shows to me, even though Influence Rage isn't placing as high as we would want them to, they're still remaining competitive. Imagine if they fix their longevity. Imagine if they're able to successfully make the top.
Just turn the volume all the way up, because I have it set to where it's like it's not so loud when you have the volume all the way up.
Yeah, exactly what I've been able to came about. They were able to back it up with Illims, because some of the other teams that I'm looking towards the bottom of the leaderboard. When
I have it set to where if you have your phone volume all the way up, you can hear me. Fine, without it being too loud.
Zero eliminations. Yeah, good job on getting the placement points, but you're not really able to back it up, right?
Yeah.
What you want to see out of this team is you want to be able to back it up at least with some Illims as 9C gets eliminated by Team Liquid.
Oh,
I can turn it up a little bit, but like,
it was just a rotation on foot.
Just loud.
To even, I guess, make it to their prime position. We saw that circle shift going right onto the mountaintop.
Anyways.
That happens on Sandhawk a lot. Teams, for some reason, before they start breaking into the stage, way around to the
Y'all still not hear me? Hello, hello.
It's just deadly. It really is. And Savage
hello, hello.
Had their number. It's unfortunate.
It says mic is working.
They're gonna have to wait till tomorrow because it's only played once a day.
Yeah, and the scary thing about it.
Super low. I can hear myself just fine.
Talk about the bridges. 7, you're noting Royals of War. They're still camping this eastern side. They dropped directly onto one of the Wolves players. I believe it was Coops, and immediately took a 4v1 on his split drop compound. Royals of War forcing themselves.
Turn your volume all the way up on your side. On your phone, turn your volume all the way up on your phone.
For these exact zones, and if you're able to set yourself up, spread out on the eastern side of the island, I believe they had almost all of the compounds for them to loot after they were able to take that engagement. Seeing them now, they actually have a really prime position to rotate in, and unfortunately, as I say that, it shifts all the way to the west. That's going to be Camp Alpha, as well as half that mountaintop in play, and somehow, someway, Alpha 7's going to be in the prime position, but Loops, they're taking the engagements. They're saying, we don't care about where we're at in the zone. We're getting our elimination points like we usually do. Unfortunately for them now, it looks like they're a bit too split up from that Royals of War split. Now being down is just a solo.
Yeah, for Royals of War, I'm wondering if they're maybe going to do a bit of a northwest rotation, try to mimic
somewhere. Drop directly.
They're gonna have to wait till
all the way to the west. That's gonna be Camp Alpha, as well as
hello.
mountaintop in play, and somehow, someway, Alpha 7's gonna be in the prime position.
Do I have to like scream or something?
Taking the engagements. They're saying we don't care about where we're at in the zone. We're getting our elimination points like
hello.
Alpha 7.
Can you hear me better?
That engagement. Seeing them now, they actually have a really
This is where S2S fucked up. If you can hear me. They have, the zone is super small, and they have this entire area to hold. All these teams are gonna push in. This one's gonna probably push into here. I'm not sure exactly how this one, 'cause I didn't watch the first game. But this team's gonna probably push down here somewhere. This team's gonna push the hill. 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 This team probably pushes A7. This team just goes forwards. So all of these teams over here are gonna push the hill, and they're super split. Like, yeah, you can show presence, but eventually these teams have to come into the zone. No matter what. No matter if you're there or not. So when you're that super split, and then you gotta all form up to this side, or all form up to this side, you're too far split. Your center zone too much split. You need to control one side of it. And preferably, they control this side. Because these teams potentially are going to fight each other. Easy third party for this team. This one's most likely fucked. And this one's going to probably push here freely. So it's better to control this side. And it's also easier to come down. But that's probably, I haven't watched it, but that's probably what fucked them up, is them just being too split when their center zone like that. Being split is fine for a good bit, but then like once teams have to push in, you want to form up together. I mean, if you watch the last Sandhawk match when A7 got zone blessed, they were split for like the first. They had a decent amount of split for like the first shifts, 3 or 4 zone shifts, and then once it basically like 100% centered up on them, like how it is here for S2S. Yeah, see, they're still. I mean, they backed all of them off, but like they're super split. So if anyone pushes them, they're dead. I'm sure this guy probably picked off one of them. This guy probably picked off one of them. I mean, they probably know he's there, but they probably picked him off.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as that analyzing the situation, and this is a team that loves playing the mountaintop here. They understand what these positions do and taking any. Klaus moving back ourselves, able to expect the most, and Klaus, he says, never mind, I'm going to turn around. With the gun shooting, is able to expect them that position in zone because every life matters. Every player with the gun shooting is able to expect the most, and Klaus, he says, never mind, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do it myself. Shoot to survive. 3 eliminations, all 4 players up. This is what we want to see out of our NA.
Why is that guy so happy? This guy gets mad.
I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do it myself.
And then Claude just turns around and is like, ah, look at him. Okay, buddy. So they haven't lost anyone yet, but still the split wasn't good. They shouldn't have been in the big split like that.
The bottom of this cliff, as you can see, the grenades coming in. Shoot to survive. Keeping an eye here for
He's still playing in a big split.
Alpha 7 be able to survive. I'm not sure
Looks like it.
type of utilities they have. I know that they.
At this point, no team is going to push up to them because it doesn't have zone, so I don't know why they're still playing in a split. They should have been focusing on one side anyways to make sure they have a clear way of getting in zone, and they should have focused on this side because that's the side where you can get in zone. Because this is all open. See how many teams are here able to play it and not get shot at. Let A7 fight Inco, or did they fight A7?
A bit of a blunder, but now the fireworks start going off, and it's going to be shoot to survive, picking up a couple more. Alpha got the shoot to survive, at least. I hate to say it.
Actually, it's just Alpha 7. They took a little bit too long.
Once the fight of Inco and A7 got done, they should have third party that. If they can.
Mafioso trying to weasel his way in, but he has to drop down. He gets one with the shotgun, almost making
A7's all dead, and how many players up on Inco? Inco 3 players up.
Will be able to get Vitali up as long as they're able to keep out here. In the zone out,
You cannot forget about. as now we're down.
Chief Cardozo down, and I don't know if Team Liquid could do it. It's up to Ayala, and he's got to work his way up a hill, and the
as they're
Anyways, the issue was S2S didn't focus one side, they were focusing the entire map. They should have focused one side, had the info on one side, and then wiped them out, because you can't control the entire zone, especially the top side, the north side of the hill. It's all open field, so whatever you do there, it's pointless because you're just gonna have to run in the open.
You can't be leaving it up to you just hopefully performing well. You got to take matters into your own hands.
Well, Royals of War, we're on board with them. It's going to be relatively quiet. They've split up a little bit, but they can converge back together pretty easily. Once again, Royals of War took advantage of the zone, stage 1, getting center zone. So did Loops, so did 9Z Globen, but potentially a story setting up between those three. It's all relatively close together. Of course, as we know, as the stages start to collapse, the teams will get closer and closer. No chance 9Z Globen, Loops, and Royals of War potentially find themselves in an engagement with each other. For the other rosters, they're slowly trickling in, making their way in for stage 1. You've got a couple of stragglers on the outside. Alpha 7, VIP, you've got United for Gaming, Savage, who's going to be all the way over on the right-hand side. So it's going to be relatively quiet, and 7, you were spot on. Team Liquid's going to be taking the Western Bridge, HG most likely taking the Eastern Bridge, where they could potentially get into an engagement with Savage. Speaking of Team Liquid, let's get on board with them, and you know, it's a slight chance, but Wolves might be setting up already to have a repeat of the bridge fight.
I was hoping you would notice it. I was hoping you would end up calling it out. I wonder if we're going to get a little bit of a mimic here. And they're starting to realize it, too. Oh. Look how quickly they slowed down. They were like, hold on, boys. I think it might be happening again. I think they might be setting up a trap for us. So let's back our butts up and see if we can maybe find another way to get in. Wolves just stopping Team Liquid once again. And this is the thing, right? Now, what are you going to be doing here for this team? Now, are you going to be forced to go towards the Eastern Bridge and maybe end up taking it? We're going to go on the Eastern side.
I think you got to fully disengage. Wolves, Esports, one of those teams that is fine playing the 3-4 circles out in the blue zone. If they get those, at least even 3, if not all 4 eliminations onto a squad like Team Liquid, it gives you loads of confidence. And for Coops to be able to potentially get those eliminations under his belt early on, that's the kind of play you want. And I'm actually seeing it right now. Wolves, I believe, turning immediately back around, potentially taking now. Wolves, I believe, turning immediately back around, potentially taking an engagement with one of the Brazilian squads. Team that definitely is needing points. Both of those teams really essentially just elimination hungry, I think, in my eyes. And with Wolves, we saw that they didn't want to play so nervous. They didn't want to play so passive like they did yesterday. For that team to be kind of sticking true to their word from Juancho's interview, it's a good sign to see.
Well, Team Liquid's back on military, as we saw earlier. Wolves, Vios Gaming close to each other. Loops is still out there. Yeah, I think Loops and Vios potentially. Vidden is by himself. He's separated just a little bit from Rafina and Zelda, and Vios Gaming could take advantage of it, but they're all in their vehicles. I don't think anybody wants to jump out and engage just yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if Loops might be the aggressor in this fight. But with Gustavs off at a distance, Rafina also on bio. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and set up inside the compound in the building. I believe the roaming is done. The looting up might be done as well. Now it's time to get serious. Get your compound locked down, and now start playing the gatekeeper role to all the other rosters that are coming in, or else you start getting shot up and you start getting taken down. And for Savage, that might become a reality. Savage taking a couple of pop shots, and that looks to be an intense game. Who's going to be holding them back off on the eastern portion of the map?
Oh, we have hope. We have hope for the Millie Zone, guys. I'm going to be the delusional one here. Team Liquid, they could stay on this side. The only issue is going to be AGG coming in. We thought they were going to take that Eastern Bridge. Now they're going to share the Western Bridge with Team Liquid. They might be able to make that rotation later on if they're able to concede the bridge and go out into blue zone if it does go to that north side. But 7, I know you're thinking it's going to the mainland. You and Taylor both. I'm a Millie believer still.
You know what? I'm not even thinking the mainland. I'm being even more toxic, Enigma. I
Oh,
want
where
to
you
see
are.
a bridge finish.
A bridge.
Okay? It has happened, and it's usually absolutely wonderful. A team that would end up benefiting, that I guess if we're going to continue on that train, would be Team Liquid, a team that definitely needs to benefit of this fight. It's going to be none other than Exports that they're going to be going up with. And 9Z, you got none other than a glider. Not a glider, just that vehicle right there coming in. If Fate does end up getting knocked, Valley ends up getting knocked. And what it look, that vehicle. The X-Force win here as they ended up getting the first on that train would be absolutely wonderful. A team that and 9 team that definitely needs to benefit of this fight is going to be none other than Exports that they're going to be going up with. And 9Z
Do we not have?
of this fight is going to be none other than Exports that they're going to be going up with. And 9Z.
Guess we don't have ears.
Another them getting knocked. That they're going to be going up with. And 9Z, you got none other than a glider. Not a glider, just that vehicle right there coming in. If Fate does end up getting knocked, Valley, Exports that they're going to be going. Be Team Liquid, a team that definitely needs to benefit of this fight. It's going to be none other than Exports that they're going to be doing there, whether it was because of the value that they ended up doing. Those are things that is just going to end up securing them 4 more placement points, and on top of that, you get to chill for the longest time. I'm intrigued to see what Wolves is going to be doing there in that position. And we saw one of the players just driving around trying to figure out if IG was going to be able to do anything. And VIP, the team that is currently in 15th place, looking to loot up even more Enigma and see if they can maybe clutch up some more points, because 15th place is not where you want to be.
Yeah, 16 total points under your belt. Obviously, we've only played 7 matches, but coming into this match, they're really hoping that they get some sort of either Western or Southern shift. They're on Ferry Pier currently. Now, if it ended on a pier, I'd be good with that, to be honest. But that's taking a lot of wishful thinking, especially for the likes of VIP. And with that being said, it of course hard shifts all the way northeast. Savage having the best position in zone. Pachinkiel essentially free for the taking. And we see every single player on this west side, whether it's Alpha 7, Inko, everyone going to have to make this do or die send either through the center of the circle or around the edge. And a lot of these teams, I'd be worried taking these engagements because we know it's never going to be that 4v4, right? It's going to be multiple squads taking engagements with you. And right now we're looking at Inko Gaming, who had a solid performance last match, them being right on the edge of the circle. They got to be the squad that's able to gatekeep. They got to be able to control this hillside to make sure that these 2, 3, maybe even 4 squads don't take the fight. And now they're forcing it, Taylor, under Royals of War.
Oh, it's about to be crazy. Inko on the Royals of War. Royals of War is getting picked apart left and right. You also have United, who's going to be United for Gaming, who's going to be off in the distance. Alpha 7 looked like they wanted to get scrappy and move on in. Royals of War, though, had a couple of stragglers from the outside who weren't inside the compound that Inko crashed on, and they're going to be able to back McGrellan and co. off. But Inko has already struck while the iron's hot. They got a couple of eliminations. And let's not forget, they're coming off a wonderful game number 1. And boys, Inko has jumped up to top 5 based off their results alone. They're on fire. They're looking strong, and they're representing North America incredibly, incredibly well. This could be a wonderful game coming out from them, and who knows, maybe even another top 3 finish. Things will settle down for just a little bit. The question is, will United for Gaming decide to crash in on the Inko roster just ahead of them?
Get it? Because if they can get another good match here, I mean, you're going to be able to hopefully end up securing at least the top 4, depending on what happens there with Influence Rage or Loops. Well, but for them to be aggressive, this is what you want to see out of these teams. This is another team, United for Gaming. We know that they definitely need those points. United for Gaming is going to end up fighting at least one player there from Inko Gaming. Are they going to be looking to make the push? And that's exactly what they're going to be doing. You can see Vitali getting ready with those grenades, switching it out. Is he going to be able to knock anybody here from United for Gaming? He is going to be able to connect with one. King turn around. He's going to get the second one, trying to make it 3. They're not being able to. There's still 2 players alive from Inko Gaming. McGrellan trying to spot somebody from United for Gaming, but it might be a little bit.
Give me my Wi-Fi's buns.
And there you go, Inko Gaming continuing on the dirt ball, making even more eliminations, but they need to be careful because 9C Globan is pushing in.
How does it look for you?
They even have a hovercraft that's going to be over to the left-hand side. Remix Milos is going to have an off angle. This might be the end, and it will be for Inko. But give them their flowers. They took down 2 teams. They crashed in a Royals of War. They then took down United for Gaming, who had no choice but to push into them. And then 9Z happened to strike when the iron was hot. Exactly when Inko was
maybe it's your Wi-Fi.
The 2 previous fights against United for Gaming and Inko. So in my
Ever thought about that?
still a big win for Inko. I personally don't think they did anything wrong. 9Z 9Z just knew when to strike, and they did so appropriately. Now they've got to push in, which is choice, but the push.
But it needs to be go game for gaming, but it might be still 2 players. Oh. He's gonna get the second one, trying to make it 3. They're not being able to. There's still 2 players alive from Inco Gaming. McGrillen trying to spot somebody from Unite for Gaming, but it might be a little bit too much for him. It's just
I don't get how people have an issue, bro. I go watch it on my phone and it's fun.
Just now, unfortunately, they might have pulled an X-Force mistake, realizing that they didn't realize that a team like AGG was on their backside across the bridge, making it a 1-for-1 trade. It's not like it's a do-or-die play just yet, but for Team Liquid, having to have Wolves to your west, Intense Game to your east, and AGG at your backside, it really limits you on how you're able to rotate. We could see it as well here. Charlie just, I mean, this is kind of a grief play on the Team Liquid, to be honest. There's not much other counterplay you can do. You got to go at least for maybe the elimination on one of the buggy.
From my side, it's fine, but I don't know.
But not gonna find it, and I'm interested in seeing where Team Liquid actually goes, because looking at that map feed and stuff like that, I know there's not too much room to play. A lot of the zone is going to be that southern Pachinki field, if not everything on the mountaintop. So these teams right now is out on the edge of the circle here, looking for even just a rock to play behind for this circle shift.
Well, Team Liquid's looking for even more than that, aren't they? They're pushing up, they're getting aggressive, and they're going dead center. This is a classic Team Liquid play where they love to just full send it in between everybody, parting the teams, and take dead center zone, and they're going to be successful in doing so. Still a 3-man unit. They're set up nicely, and they're looking to go back-to-back. They saw the memes, and they want to prove the memes wrong. They said, look, guys, we're still Team Liquid. We're as strong as ever. And after that game 1 and potentially this game 2
Maybe it'd be better like this.
What are they up to? Well, they got 9Z Globin, the team that took down Inco Gaming just a little bit ago, and they got Influence Rage just up ahead there, 7.
And if Alpha 7 is going to be able to clear 9C, that's going to be massive for this team. We'll see if that is going to end up happening. We know this is a team that likes controlling a big area, and especially with these rotations that they've been able to do now, forcing Rebel to just use up a lot of utility. 9C, remember, they got the hovercraft from X-Force earlier. Are they going to be able to use it to their advantage as Alpha 7 now trying to realize, what are we going to be doing here? Are we going to just commit to this fight, even though Rebel is at a disadvantage? Or do we want to move on about teams that are